Welcome back to FPL Take The Hit. Today we are looking at Champions League Fantasy Football. Matchday 2 is almost upon us, only a matter of hours away really. And Joff, you've activated the Limitless chip.
I've got it going. I've thought, you know what? Why not? What better way to use it than now? I'm hopeful that many of you guys have seen our Limitless video, which is just a how-to, when to kind of use it. A long story short with that video, even though go and watch it, it only goes for 4 minutes, but basically it's a good time. Match day 2, match day 3, match day 4, one of those match days, because basically we've still got the weaker teams in the actual cup. So let's take advantage of it. Let's get the big boys. Will just spank them off the park. As we can see with this team, it's lopsided as anything.
That makes sense. That does make a lot of sense. I know I've always held onto my chips, especially in UCL for some stupid reason, until later in the actual the stages. And you're right, all the good teams are gone, and it's only the big teams facing off against the big team. So it makes a lot of sense to hit this limited chip early and just load up on these big teams.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, look, this probably will be my final squad. I might do one or two tweaks if the press conferences before the game kind of lean towards one way, but I'm liking to look at this squad, but I'm going to go through. I'll go through them individually because there's a few alternatives along the way.
Sure.
So basically, starting at the back, got Szczesny in goal against Leverkusen, no brainer. Juventus at home, even though their defense is a bit weaker at the moment, they're missing some wing backs, but they'll still keep a clean sheet, I believe. And I think that Szczesny will do his job. And
Leverkusen aren't no slouches though.
Nah, they're not, but they're not like they used to be. It's not as if it's the team when Zidane scored that left-winning cracker. It's not the same Leverkusen, mate. anyway, on the bench you've got Merritt as well. So Merritt will come on in the second match day if Szczesny doesn't do his job. So he's from Napoli and they're playing Genk. So hopefully that he can do his job. They can do the business as well. Hopefully we don't need him though. And then so moving on to the defense. So starting with the bench, we've got Alexander-Arnold. So I feel like they're gonna go out here to win this game. I feel like I'm hopeful there's no rotation with Liverpool because they lost 2-0 in the first leg, so they want to get back to winning ways. And the guy is an absolute beast. 1 goal, 3 assists in the Premier League. So he's someone that I think anyone that plays FPL is looking at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So so moving on to 2 Real Madrid defenders. So I've got Carvajal and I've got Ramos. So Carvajal's the leading assist maker in Spain. He's got equal leading, and Ramos he's on headers. The guy is most likely on penalties. I don't think we even know yet if he's going to be taking pens or could be Hazard.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's actually true there. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if Hazard actually takes the pens off Ramos.
Yeah, I'm really keen. But I thought, you know what, we've got to play him. Ramos at home to Club Brugge, even though Club Brugge has had a really good start. So I'm not too sure if I'm going to keep the 2. I might get rid of Carvajal. And a few alternatives for Carvajal, I just want to put them out there, is Piqué and Koulibaly. So these are 2 that I'm definitely looking at. And Bonucci's Bonucci. The guy's an absolute beast. He's on headers as well. So really, really solid choice at the back there. Yeah, and moving on to Meunier. So I feel like Meunier or Bernat, if you're using your Limitless, it's a great couple of players there. They both play for PSG away to Gala. Meunier did his job. He scored already in the Champions League last match day. And I want to go through some other defenders just for you guys in case you're not using a Limitless chip. So basically, Halstenberg and Orban. So these are 2 players that if you haven't got them, you should get at least one of them. Orban. So they're both from Leipzig. Orban's 4 million and Halstenberg's 4.5 million. So really good alternative choices at the back there. So I just want to give you a couple of options there. So
I noticed you've taken out Tagliafico, mate, the 19-point scorer extraordinaire.
Exactly, man. I tell you, he's another one that I could put in for Carvajal, and that's another one. Actually, sorry, I was actually supposed to mention him. So Tagliafico is a no-brainer. Like, the guy got 19 points. Put him in your team right now. But for the Limitless, he's away to Valencia, so I'm not too sure if he finds his way in. He might though. He still might find his way in for Carvajal.
Okay.
But good call. I like that. Yeah. I like that. And then moving on to the midfield now. So Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
Klopp absolutely slaves his midfielders there. He loves playing those 2 90 minutes every game. So I feel like they're going to have a cracker in this game, and they're going to not so spank them to that 6 or 7-0, but I think it'll at least be 4-0. I think that'll be a good scoreline, and 1 or 2 goals each. Great, great potential for those boys. Will you have the Liverpool boys in your team, Mick?
They're coming off a pretty tough game against Sheffield, away to Sheffield, where they only just snuck past them. Both these boys didn't score, didn't assist. Salah did look decent. Mane had a few chances too. So, I mean, they're definitely a great shout this week in the UCL. But I don't know. I mean, personally, you know me, I like to spread the risk. So I don't think I'll be owning both Liverpool midfielders, Salah and Mane. I'll definitely own Salah, but probably not both. But I mean, obviously, I'll be going heavy Premier League like your team. Your midfield definitely is. I mean, moving on to Kevin De Bruyne and Sterling, I can see why they're in your team.
Yes, heavy Premier League. I feel like KDB is in ridiculous form at the moment. They both play Dynamo Zagreb, who actually won 4-0 in their first game, but we're talking about Manchester City here. They can beat anyone 6-7, 8-0, you know what I mean? So, So basically, 2 goals, 9 assists for KDB in the Premier League, and Sterling with 6 goals already in the Premier League. So I feel like if they go big, those are the boys to have. Yeah, really, really good options there. But I'm going to go into some alternatives in 1 second. I just want to talk about Angel Di Maria. He got a double against Madrid in his first match day. He's looking electric. I actually watched a couple of PSG games, and he's just looking like it's going to be a Di Maria season.
Crazy. I mean, I only remember him from the Premier League. I haven't seen much since then, but he's really been pulling up stumps since he left the Prem.
Yeah, it seems like that time at United was just it was a bad patch for him anyway.
Yeah.
But so basically some alternatives, like what Mick's saying. If you don't want to go too heavy into this, and like I said, this most likely will be my final team, but I might do a couple of tweaks. So basically, from Dortmund, I'm looking at Royce. I think Royce and Jadon Sancho. I think they're both not bad options if you want to spread the funds, because they've got I think it's Slavia Prague away, so not a bad little choice there. And obviously, João Felix from Atletico Madrid away to Lokomotiv Moscow. I'm definitely looking at him as well. He's someone that might sneak his way in, but and even for your for your standard team, like these are great players to own this week. And so another one would be for basically a budget enabler. I'm looking at Parejo. So Parejo, if someone needs a cheapie, so you got a 5 million penalty taker from Valencia. He's someone definitely keep an eye on if you want to squeeze a few players in. And David Silva. So David Silva, Pep Guardiola has said that he's going to start David Silva this game. So
really?
You never get that early, you know. So
there you go. Well, he did get rested. He got rested on the weekend, so it makes sense.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to start David Silva. So he might even sneak in there as well. I'm not too sure.
Especially with Pep Roulette. Like, I'm looking at Kevin De Bruyne and Sterling, and I can just see one of them is going to get a rest in this game. I'm scared for you.
Hey, well, the thing is that the reason why I like the Pep Roulette is because on the bench, Mane, Salah, they're going to start. So
yeah, it's true.
That's why I've got that. But anyway, anyone else in the midfield? So basically, Josip Ilicic and Gomez. I've talked about them many a night on this UCL fantasy. They both play for Atalanta. They both were 6.5 million. They're both going to do damage this week. I see they're playing at home to Shakhtar. I feel like they're due. Gomez got a double on the weekend. Ilicic is definitely due a goal, and actually he's not in my notes here, but Duvan Zapata, I feel like he's a striker. We'll get to the strikers in a second, but he's someone that if you're using your Limitless, it's a risk, but he could explode. The guy's an absolute beast. I think he's leading the Serie A goal scoring at the moment. Before we finish, one more. Valbuena from Olympiacos. They're playing away to Red Star. I think he got a goal assist in his first game. He's on pens. It could be another budget enabler at 6 million. So.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Bring on the strikers. So Cristiano Ronaldo, I feel like, he's the guy. He's going to be the guy this week at home to Leverkusen. Even if they score only 3 goals, he could get all 3. It's standard Ronaldo. And so I most likely will throw the captain's armband on him. Although Sergio Aguero, who next we're talking about, the guy's definitely going to play as well. And
rest on the weekend. Yep, he will play. He will start.
But putting him in your team long term, I'm not too much of a kind of an advocate of that. I'm not too sure about that because he rotates crazily. So for this game, we know Aguero is going to start. I feel like Zagreb's going to get spanked, and I feel like Aguero is going to be in the goals. Yeah,
it's a good shout. Definitely a good shout. I noticed your forward line's missing a big missing. It's got a Messi shaped hole in there, mate. What's going on there?
Oh, he's injured. He's injured, Messi.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, he's actually. Yeah, I can't believe he's not on my team, man. I wish I could put him in, but I think he's out for a couple of games. And
still,
he picked up another injury. Weird.
There you go. Moving on to Benzema. So how come you've gone Benzema over Bale? That's an interesting choice.
I just feel like Benzema's, I think he's leading, or is he second in the, he's one goal off top of the Spain goal scoring charts. And it's just, I think it's more of, he's just a Champions League player. You know, I mean, Bale's a Champions League player as well, but Benzema from back in his Lyon days, the guy just breeds Champions League football. And he will definitely score at least one or two in this game. And yeah, I feel like if they go big against Club Brugge, Benzema's going to be amongst it. But Bale's a great shout as well. He's another alternative that, hey, he was in my team once upon a time. So yeah, it's a good shout, mate. Yeah.
Cool, very nice, mate. Any other strikers to add besides your front three?
Yeah, so a few players that I definitely want to mention is Roberto Firmino. He's another one that he could have snuck in here, but I've got so many Liverpool players I couldn't do it. So Roberto Firmino, and we've got Dries Mertens and Lorenzo Insigne. So these two players are away to Genk, and Genk got spanked 6-2 by Salzburg. So Genk leaked goals. I feel like it kills me not to own one of either Mertens or Insigne, to be honest. And again, they still might sneak in, but I feel like I'm going to stick with this front three. I like the they're all goal scorers, all proven. The Genk game, Napoli. Yeah, they should spank him. I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but see what happens there. And Neymar as well. So Neymar, away to Galatasaray, he was definitely on my on my short list, but I just went away from it. I went away from Neymar. He's coming back from injury, and even though he's been back for a couple of weeks, but still, I'm just not particularly sold to this match day.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then moving on to Suarez. I think you had Suarez in your team for match day 1.
I did.
I feel like with Messi out, Suarez is a great shout. You know, he could be actually on penalties as well. But yeah, Suarez or Griezmann, they both could be decent options up front for Barcelona. I think that's basically how I want to put it. And you know, players like Memphis Depay, he's actually my real team. So with using this Limitless chip, I will get Memphis Depay back. So basically, this is another strategy I want to put out there for this Limitless chip, is that Lewandowski, who I did not want to get rid of, this is a way to avoid it. And I can see, hopefully you guys can see down the bottom, you can see the without the Limitless transfers, because I had a bit of demand for people saying, hey, what can I do if I don't limit this? Because I'm going to use a similar strategy to you. So basically, I've got some transfers there. So Lewandowski to Ronaldo, Anderson to Halstenberg. So these are a couple of transfers that, they're players that I feel like if you want to make two moves from my previous team, that's what I'm talking about right now. But I just didn't want to lose Lewandowski, so because I want to play him. He's got Olympiacos in match day 3. So the Limitless chip will basically enable me to just give it a blank week. So all my team comes back. So I get Memphis Depay back. I get Lewandowski back. I go and get Tagliafico back. So this is just, it's another strategy for why I wanted to use this Limitless chip. But if you don't want to use it and you feel like you want to save it for a little bit later, hey, do it. You do you. So, I think that basically wraps up my match day 2 squad reveal.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's it, guys. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, give us a subscribe, and there'll be more UCL videos coming up. And make sure to check out our FPL content as well. We're going to be putting up a couple of videos with our ranks, our recent teams. So keep an eye on them, guys. And we hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you very much, guys. As we always say at FPL Take The Hit, always remember to stay positive.
Keep chasing them green arrows, guys.
Thanks, guys. Ciao.